We have the it's like it's the pretty much the running joke of like who's the best man. It's Kip Sabian's wedding nuptials, and we have so many people come out. We have some big lad, and it plays into the whole angle of like Kip Sabian being a Twitch streamer as well. He's a good lad. Kabian, you know? Kabian? Jesus, wow, I can't speak today. The whiskey has took over. No, it's the Kip being a streamer and is talking about subscribers and stuff. Again, we all know what that's a pot shot about, but we'll go in that in a little minute.
Maybe let's get into this now because it plays into the next angle. Let's talk about this. Yeah. Because they did the big shot at All Out.
Yes, they did.
Kip Sabian talks about he's going to wed his fiancée Penelope Ford in a couple of weeks, and then he promotes his Twitch stream, and in a lower third you can read this message is approved by AEW, or AEW approves this message, and yeah, it references the very misguided communication. The letter WWE put out last week.
They made that into a massive shit show. They told everyone that they couldn't do Twitch and YouTube and Cameo and stuff, and then they told them that we're trying to protect the rights to the names like Walt Disney, and then they said they owned the real names of the people as well, and it was like, what are you saying here?
Yeah, it's insane. The best comeback to this is from my favorite flat earther, AJ Styles. When he mentions, WWE doesn't own AJ Styles, I allow them to use my name.
Yeah, because he's got that copyright. He had that copyright from the TNA days and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's fine. He can do what he wants in that regard. But like people where they have created the name for them, because that's what WWE does. They do own those performing names. But when they said they owned their real names as well, I was like, you legally can't. That's not legal. That's not even legal. You can't.
And WWE was really threatening in their communications, weren't they? They said like, okay, you have 30 days to delete all your social media accounts, like your YouTube, your Twitch. They backpedaled on all of that later. Your Cameo. If you don't, you get fined, you get suspended, you may be fired, and immense backlash. There are a lot of wrestlers who earn extra money doing stuff like that. You have a Celtic Warrior workouts with Sheamus. You have up, down, down. A lot of people stream on Twitch. A lot of them are on Cameo.
Especially considering they don't have the house show money to get, because now they're down on money because so they have a guarantee, right? And the guarantee might be was it like $400,000 over like 3 years or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But we always talk about
the extra merchandise sales. Sorry, we're talking over each other.
That's grand. Plus, you have the merchandise sales, as you're right. But we always talk about these wrestlers as millionaires. The merchandise sales are not worth that much unless you're like a top tier guy, like a John Cena. But how they get their millions of dollars is because they get a cut of every house show they do. They do get a cut of the gate at house shows. No house shows means no additional payments. These Twitch streams, these YouTube channels, these Cameo services have been helping get this extra revenue. Now, bear in mind, they're not spending the money on the rental cars and stuff, so they're actually saving money there. But, you know, why not make money? If you can make it, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, even the mainstream got involved. You got politicians involved, threatening legal actions and stuff like that. And it's a very, very open secret that what WWE is doing with their independent contractors is it legal? In Germany, it would be legal.
I think if we see a Democrat win in America, I can see WWE being put in a lot of heat here. I think because they were so cozy to the Trumps, they're going to be target number one when it comes to this stuff. And should we see a change in the actual administration? Apparently, Kip Sabian is in Blue's neck of the woods. Or from his neck of the woods. I did not know that. Goddamn. Look at him knowing wrestlers, potentially. But yeah,
okay.
Getting back to the segment though, so we have we have like a bunch of like who's who. So we have a random Twitch subscriber, and then we have Brian Pillman Jr. Come out as well, and he's not the best man. And it's one of those situations where I know Justin saying there that Brian Pillman got a bit buried, but Brian Pillman's not signed with AEW. He's still signed with MLW, and they're not going to push him until he can be a full-time employee. They can't.
But don't use him in this kind of segment. He felt really goofy there.
You know what? We'll forget about it in like a year's time when he's a full-time employee and he's actually going for belts. I don't think this is going. I don't think it's going to have long-term damage. But then we do have the real best man, the best man, Mr. Miro. He's just Miro, isn't he? There's no second name, just Miro.
No, the best man.
The best man, Miro. And
the Miro best man.
The Miro best man. But we also saw like the Bulgarian colors in his text and the Titantron stuff. We had a Miro Day chant and stuff, and we had some,
And they called him the Bulgarian beast on commentary, not Bulgarian brute.
The Bulgarian beast, yes. They were very careful of their copyrighted terms there. Now, I'll wait to see if we see Mr. JR mess that up and call him the Bulgarian brute by accident, because JR he keeps calling Jake Hager swagger. So I mean, he's a little bit caught. He's a little bit caught in his ways, but sure.
Justin Roberts should have clued him in. He's rock hard, Jake Hager.
Rock hard, Jake Hager. What the fuck is that?
I will never get over that.
He's like, what a weird name. But yeah, we have Miro here, and again, it seems like a continuation of just the shit that's being thrown in WWE's face, which is easy to fucking do, if I'm honest. Like, he talks about at least talks about glass ceilings and imaginary brass rings, and then shoving those imaginary brass rings up someone's ass. I wonder who. Yeah. But it just you could see on Miro's face that he was actually genuinely happy to be there and have a sense of creative freedom. Like, it felt like it's like, I can finally be me. I can speak without being scripted. I can be the true person I want to be. And I think that's one of those great sort of uplifting things that we find when you come from the other place to AEW, is that you have that freedom there, and you can just see it on his face.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I don't know if he's a heel or a face. It's hard to say.
He came out through the face tunnel, so.
Is that the prevailing theory? That one's a face tunnel and one's the heel tunnel?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Like the Bucks, when the Bucks turned, they exited through the face tunnel after the match with the 8-man tag team match.
Right.
They exited through the heel tunnel. That's what I meant to say.
I did not know we had that.
Doesn't matter right now. Miro. Yeah, he seems to be a face. Kind of really short, fiery promo, like you said. Like the charismatic beast that he is. Got blonde tips now. He looked like a very beefy. Now I'm blanking on the name. Curb and Bite. That's the guy.
Oh yeah, the old what's his name?
Like Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo Guerrero, yeah.
This very, very misguided gimmick he had back then. But then again, if the Blade had a full head of hair, Miro would look like a beef blade.
A beef blade is that's a hell of a sentence.
The butcher, the beef, the blade.
I can see that. I can get behind that triplet. The butcher, the beef, and the blade. I mean, it works, right?
I mean, the butcher's bringing the beef currently, but
yeah, but the blade's gonna cut it.
It's kind of hard for us to talk about the Miro segment, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of like those things where we're just kind of like going off a tangent now.
What do you think about debuting him in this segment specifically?
Not the best way to do it.
Yeah, I was a fan of Miro coming out on his promo. I wasn't a fan of the surroundings.
Yeah, I feel like the trappings of him being Kip Sabian's best man was kind of crap. I get why they've done it. It's two Twitch stars. You could theoretically call them stars. Twitch stars. and maybe that's where they're going to say their link is like, oh, they know each other because they Twitch together, you know?
Well, that's what Kip Sabian implied with his promo.
Yeah.
And the other connection is Miro has experience with ruining weddings. He did this earlier this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
remember that.
you know, you got a heelish guy trying to marry a good-looking blonde. So
Oh.
there are connections there.
No, I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't put I don't want to.
Do you want to see him team up with Kip Sabian? I mean, he
I
surely
wouldn't mind.
quote unquote turns on him at some
I
point.
wouldn't mind him working an angle with him to begin with. I think that's fine. I don't want him in a relationship with Penelope Ford because that's too mirrored to what he was doing in several times in WWE. I don't want to tread that ground again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We done that with obviously with Lana and then the other girl. God, I can't even remember her name now.
You had the Summer Rae storyline
Yes,
at one point.
that's
yeah,
Summer Rae,
with
yeah.
Dolph Ziggler. Yeah.
So I don't want to go down that path again. That we need to stay away from that. So let's please stay away from that. I think they could have made him come out and look like a Effect and Conqueror. I mean, me and you expected him to come out in the Battle Royale, and I think it would have been better if that had happened.
If he doesn't win it, don't bring him out there.
Yeah, fair.